Now, healthcare isn't the only place we need help. If you think your insurance company is there to protect you when there's a storm or a leak or a fire, think again. When we come back, what you need to know to get your house in order. Stay with us.
You pay your insurance bill on time, assuming you're covered if a natural or man-made disaster should harm your home. The advice of our next guest: never assume. Mark Hauser is a licensed insurance adjuster and author of the book Getting Your House in Order, and he's here to share the secrets insurance companies don't want you to know. And I think there are many of them. I've never had a good experience with an insurance company, and clearly it's because I really don't know how to beat them at their own game.
What you need to do is, the problem is that most people assume that their policy works like an auto policy, so they don't want to use it. They feel that they're going to be canceled or non-renewed, and they really can't be if they know the policy.
But as I told you in the green room earlier today, that actually happened to me. I was canceled because I had to use the policy for something that collapsed through my ceiling. So obviously, I didn't know what I was doing. Let's talk about how to beat insurance companies at their own game. You say, first, know your policy and what it covers. Right. I was covered for water damage.
Well, the main thing is that most people don't know what kind of policy they have. There's either HO1, HO2, or HO3, or in your case, it was an HO6 for a condo. And each one has different types of things that actually can be used as far as perils in each one. HO1 is all named perils from their HO2. Then have an all-risk policy. But when you look in the policy, it doesn't tell you that it's fire or anything else. It just says if it's not excluded, it's covered. So it's an understanding.
But how do you know what that means?
Read my book.
Exactly. That's what I need to do. Okay, understand the scope of the claim. What do you mean there?
Oh, well, when you have to know everything that's going to be involved with the scope. I had a client that actually came to me, and he had his son had ran into his siding, and it was an all-risk claim. And the adjuster came out, and he basically said, "Oh, well, I'll pay for all the paneling and everything else." And then the contractor came out, and he goes, "Well, today we have to take out the ceiling," and then I get to the paneling the next day. He says, "Ceiling? I didn't get paid for the ceiling." He says, "Well, look, the ceiling goes drop ceiling goes over the top of the paneling. So I've got to take that out before I can do the other one." So you have to know what's going to be happening, what needs to be done.
What's it's actually going to cover.
Right.
Right. Okay. Put together a proper estimate. Now, do you mean by the contents of your home in terms of a proper estimate?
No. When contractors do an estimate, they bundle everything together. You'll see like 1, 2, maybe 3 lines, and then a total. But if you look at an adjuster's estimate, it's broken up detail and all unit pricing for everything. So what they'll do is they'll look at yours and they look at mine, and they go, "Oh, well, look, see, mine has more detail, so we'll go with mine, not yours."
Oh, contact your insurance company. A lot of good this did me. What help is that?
Well, the main thing is that you don't want to contact them until you're prepared. The problem is there's too many people just automatically contact them without knowing exactly what's going on, without having a battle plan. I was watching Marianne earlier, and she was actually doing all this detail, getting ready for today's show. And I was amazing. Now, she was no way that she could do the show today if she hadn't done her work beforehand.
Which means you can't get the insurance company to help you out if you don't do the detail work.
Correct.
Then go over the estimate and scope of the damages with the adjuster. Is the adjuster actually on your side?
No. In fact, if you go to my website, I have a 10-minute clip of an audio clip of an insurance adjuster teaching other insurance adjusters how to minimize a bathroom claim, and he's stealing between $2,300 and $3,000.
So that brings us to the next idea. In words and phrases you never say to an adjuster. 1, my sewer backed up.
Well, the thing is, they're automatically going to make an assumption because it's in their favor that the sewer came the water came from the sewer into your house. But that's not what happened. It was a blockage. It never even got to the sewer. So actually, it's still your water that actually came back up into your own home.
And why is that significant?
Well, if it actually comes from the sewer and it came into your house, that would not be covered. That would be an exclusion.
Ah. Interesting. I never liked that part of my house. What's wrong with saying that?
Well, I've actually had people where they're talking about wallpaper and the quality of the grade of the wallpaper, and they'll say to the adjuster, "Now, before you leave, you better get all this stuff measured, because let me tell you what, this crap's going to be out of here before I get, because we hate this crap. We've never liked this crap." So the adjuster goes, "Let's see, the value of this stuff is crap, So, but it's not. It could be, very expensive, but it's just." They don't like it.
Okay. This one is significant because I had this experience. Look how the water is rotting my house. I had the experience where an insurance company warned against the future possibility of mold and dropped my policy.
Well, using certain words like rot. Rot would not be covered because everything has to be sudden and accidental. It's not really rot, it's actually water damage. The terminology is what you need to know.
So water damage is okay?
Yes.
Interesting. It wasn't for me. I think insurance companies make up the rules as they go along these days.
Yeah, they do. And to give you an idea, there's certain things that are not in your policy, but are their terminology. They could say, like, you're looking at a roof, and they could be saying, well, I'm only going to pay for this slope because of the line of sight. And I'll sit there and go, okay, I've got the policy in hand. Show me where line of sight is in the policy. And they go, well, I said, then don't bring it up. There's a lot of those kind of words.
That's been happening for a while now. Does that mean that you've been negligent in terms of not informing them, and that's why you don't say that?
No. The main thing is that people don't know, so they say the wrong things. One of the things that you don't, just because a water claim has been coming through the roof, you finally see it. It could have been going for a while, but because you didn't know that it was there, doesn't mean that it's not covered. Just means the date of discovery was then.
Okay, so date of discovery obviously is important. How much am I deserving for this claim?
Well, number one, you don't want to say that. It's because you actually want to tell them what it's worth.
What you deserve.
Yes, you don't want to. Once you do that, you give them control.
So let's say you've just bought a home. You need to evaluate the contents of the home. Are there any secrets there?
Yes. Well, number one, you need to be able to properly photograph everything in your house. A wide angle is a great way to do that. Don't use a video because video is very hard to look at afterwards. The second thing is you want to get every single thing in your home and actually list it and give it a low, medium, or premium value for everything. At least have that in down pat. And I mean everything from the underwear all the way up, because everything has to be replaced if you have a major damage.
Okay, some good advice. Getting your house in order is the name of the Homeowners Manual by Mark Hauser. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Mary Alice?